Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I realize I just went through 4 slides without with having the mute button on, so that's great. I apologize about that, and I thank you for the audience for alerting me. So I'm going to quickly go back 2 slides and just run through these super quickly. It's no shocker that Facebook enables you to connect with a wide audience. 72% of American adults are on Facebook. So this is a great place for local businesses to come and, meet their goals, whether those goals are, reaching new customers or increasing sales. Facebook has no shortage of different options that you can use to reach your goals. And then, if you already have a mobile website for your small business, you're ahead of the curve. But it's no secret that we're becoming a mobile world, and Facebook is really dominating the mobile market. They have the #1 app. They have the #2 app too. As smartphone use increases, currently there's 207.2 million smartphone users in the U.S. That number is only going to grow. It's expected to be at 236.8 million by 2019. Being on Facebook is the easiest way for a local business to kind of boost their mobile marketing strategy. And Facebook makes it easy. All you need to do is set up a business page, and then the developers and engineers at Facebook, they're the ones that are tasked with, making sure your page renders properly on the, 500 types of smartphones out there. So this is really just one way to make your business accessible to mobile users. And then in terms of the outline of today's webinar, we are going to we'll start off and go from, basic to advanced. We'll start off with how to build a business page, and I'll give you some pointers. Then we will move into how to create highly visible posts and content. And then after once you've built your foundation and you've, got your posts that are getting out there, then we'll move into advertising, and I'll show you how to use that to, whether you want to, send a campaign out quickly or you have a special promotion going on. Facebook has a lot of different advertising options for local businesses that, they work at the end of the day. Here at Vivial, we even use it, so that just speaks to its credibility. And then lastly, there are some new features that local businesses can use on Facebook. They were created especially for local businesses. So I will show everyone a few of those, and I will close the webinar with some additional resources. And if you have any questions, I will answer them then. You can also type them into the chat feature in BrightTalk, and if my colleague is able to answer them. If not, I will answer them at the end. So let's jump in. So the first thing that, when you decide to get on Facebook is, creating a Facebook page. That's really the hub of your local business on the social media network. And I'm sure that a lot of you already have pages set up, but that doesn't mean that you can just skip this part. Just like, any sort of optimization that you do for search engines, or, if you manage your Yelp page on a regular basis, your Facebook page needs to be a living and breathing creature, and it's always going to be evolving. And all that does is tell Facebook that you are active, you are an active business, and that you're paying attention, and that will help increase your authority with Facebook, so you will rank higher in their algorithm. So how do you set up a great Facebook page that's discovered by all these customers, maybe your existing customers? Customers really rely on Facebook for many different types of things, and research actually shows that consumers expect small businesses to actually be on Facebook. So if you're not there, set up a page and, get going. So what can you do here? Small businesses, they use it to share stories. They use it to provide customer service. You're going to see a lot of that with Facebook reviews. And then, of course, connect with current and existing customers. So when you're filling out your Facebook page, one of the first places that you should focus on is the About section. And that's because when people visit your page, this is what they're going to see. It's a way for people to quickly get an overview of your business and, kind of get the download. What's the important information that they need, including things like, what category are you? What types of products and services do you offer? How can they get in touch? If you have a physical location, include that in the map on there. And then depending on the category that you select, you can do different things like if you're a restaurant, you can choose to upload a menu. You can include information about your chef, or if you're a service provider, they, allow you to talk about the different services that you provide to people in your area. So the best thing that you can do for your About page is to make sure that it's complete and that it's filled out using keywords that your customers would use to search for you. So if, for example, in the coffee shop screenshot here, if I am searching for a coffee shop in the Garment District in New York, Gregory's has written that into their copy, so it's going to show up and it's going to show me, Gregory's Coffee and show me how to get there quickly. So when you're building out your Facebook page, you do want to be mindful of the visual elements because, Facebook, people are used to seeing high-res photos that are sized properly. And when things are not sized properly, it stands out in a not good way. So you don't have to be a professional photographer by any stretch of the imagination. You really just need either a digital camera or a smartphone or a friend that has one. And just for your cover photo, make sure that it's sized for this 851 by 315. Make sure your profile picture is sized for that 180 by 180, whether it's, you're going to include your photo if you're, the business, or if you have a logo, you can include that there. If you have, you want to upload the proper type of file format, so if your photo has no text on it, upload a JPEG. If it has text, make sure it's a PNG file. I will send out, or actually there is a copy of this deck in the attachments, so if you need to reference any of these or anything else on the in the presentation, you can download it there to have access to these. So another nice thing when you're building out your Facebook page is the settings section, and this is every small business. This is every business, no matter what your size. This is one of the best pages that you can customize, and I say that because it shows how the content that you put on Facebook shows it's going to be modified to show up how you specify with the people interacting with it. So by customizing these settings, you can be 100% sure that any customers or potential customers, they're going to experience your business the way that you want them to on Facebook. So an example I give is you might be a bar or a pub, and since you serve alcohol, you really have no interest in talking to anyone who isn't 21 years or older. So you can actually manage this in your settings. You can say that I only want to talk to people who are 21 plus, and Facebook will take that and automatically delete anyone below the age of 21. So that's just one example, but you can also do things like if you, if you're a local church, you can, set profanity filters. I think that's just a best practice, period, to set them as, fairly high, because you don't want people going on there. It looks bad. It looks bad for any business. But go in there and take a look, and, customizing those, you'll be able to be sure that your customers see your business the way you want them to. So once you've set up your Facebook page, you obviously want to grow your audience quickly. So a few ways to do that. It's all about cross-promoting yourself and cross-promoting your business. So invite your friends to like your new business page. Just send them a quick email, and or you can even invite them right on Facebook there. I've had friends do that, and I automatically like them, and now I know that, so-and-so has a business. Facebook will actually ask me, hey, do you want to share this with your friends? So that's a nice way to go viral. You can upload an email list of your existing customers into Facebook, and it will show their business or your business to them. That's an easy way to quickly grow your audience. And then, of course, just cross-promote. Put it on your website. Put it in your email address signature. Put it, if you have a physical location, put it, post something at checkout. Or if you're a service provider and you have a business card, include the link there. So, you just really, your goal is to spread awareness, and you're going to be surprised at how many people search for you naturally because, as I mentioned before, people expect small businesses to be on Facebook, so and they want to interact with you. So just the fact that you're there is going to give you a leg up. So now that you've set up your page and you're working on, getting more followers, I'm always asked, how do I measure success on Facebook? Are there benchmarks out there that I can use to tell if it's working? And one of the easiest ways to measure success is to go into your Facebook page insights, which is just a tab at the top of your business page. And the things that it's going to show you how many people liked your page, some demographics about the type of people liking your page, and I encourage, it's looking at those demographics, you might be surprised, and maybe, you want to take those learnings and apply them to maybe your business model or your marketing strategy. You might be surprised at the people looking at you. For example, I always assumed from our research that people who like Vivial they tend to be male. They tend to be more in, the Midwest. But we actually have, it's split pretty evenly, 50-50. There's a lot of women out there that are running businesses, and they like our page too. So, now I write that into my copy, and I include more examples that are, for women that own businesses too. So, take these learnings and apply them to your overall strategy. After all, it's all free, and free is always good for marketers. So now that you have your Facebook page, and we've kind of laid the groundwork for the factors that influence the About page and how you're going to be found by people, how do you create highly visible posts? And, you want to create and publish a variety of interesting content, and that will attract people to share your posts. It'll attract comments. It'll attract likes. And, you know your customer best, so go with your gut in terms of the topics that you post on, but I'm going to give you a couple different types that resonate and that people like to engage with local businesses on. So first things first, Facebook is becoming more and more of a search engine. And by using your keywords, and when I say keywords, it can be super basic, coffee shop, Garment District, New York. Just making sure that that's in the content of your post will help you show up in searches. So this is really only going to help your customers find you. You have to put yourself in the shoes of your customer and think about what they would search for. But use it in your posts, in any articles, in photo captions, and when people are searching for businesses, they can sort it by post. So that's one way to be discovered organically. And now that you've used your keywords, you should always use photos and include a link. There's no shortage of research that shows that, businesses that post photos, they get 53% more likes than those that don't. And if you're, posting out from your website, or maybe you're sharing articles from media outlets to, show everyone how, provide information and show that you're a thought leader, always use links as well. It increases the likelihood that Facebook will put you in the news feed, and that's the end goal. You want to be included in the news feed so that people have the option to like and share all this content that you're creating. So one of my favorite things, and I know that this is very specific for retailers, but give people an inside view of your business. And I did choose a retail example here. This is a shop in San Francisco, and they recently renovated. They, gave everyone sort of a sneak peek. But, you can do other things too. You don't need to be a retailer to, give visitors or visitors on Facebook, an example of what it's like to do business with you. You can highlight team members, even if that team member is, Fido, and you're working from home one day, and Fido is your coworker that day. Highlight, and also if you have team members, highlight them as well. Not only will they be more likely to share the post, but it's a great way to build morale. And then anything that's sort of behind the scenes, even if it's not glamorous, even if it's, a shot of you with, it could be with a happy customer, it could be, if you're a electrician, it could be, maybe on a job. Just give people an insider view of what it's like every day to do business with you. And that's something that really resonates if reality TV has shown us nothing. And then another one of my favorites is share helpful tips with people. And a lot of local businesses will come and ask me, they'll say, well, I don't want to give away my trade secrets. And my response is that you're not. And I will give the example of a locksmith. So I live in New York, and I locked myself out of my apartment. Not my finest hour. I immediately went on Facebook and searched for a locksmith near me. I found one. And I found one because he posted a, I think it was, it was like how to install window guards for, if you have a child and you live in a high-rise building. And, I called him because I don't know how to fix or break myself into my apartment. And so, you can argue that, yes, he was giving away some of his trade secrets by showing me how to install window grates. And maybe I will use that in the future, doubtful, but I needed him at that moment. And, the fact that he posted about that helpful information just showed me that he knew what he was doing. And, that was enough for me to call him. I'm not an expert locksmith. I don't know anyone who is. So you're not giving away your trade secrets. And I promise you that the people searching, they're searching to contact your business, not to steal your information. And another great way to get people to interact quickly is to ask questions, and engage with your audience. Engagement is really crucial on social media, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on LinkedIn. You want to just show that there is a person behind this Facebook page, and that the Facebook page, it might be for your business, but at the end of the day, your business is about your customers. So, by asking them questions, asking them their opinion, that's a great way to get comments, get likes, get shares, all of those great things. And then something else that I've seen work really, really well is to get a little personal, not too personal, but, so many of my friends now own small businesses back in Massachusetts, where I'm from, and, I love it when they post little snippets about their business and get a little bit personal, because your business is personal at the end of the day. It's your blood, sweat, and tears. So it's okay to give yourself a little pat on the back once in a while. Whether you want to celebrate some milestones, or you want to, thank your customers and employees for all the hard work. There is no shortage of hashtags that you can use, so this is a great way to be found. But it also, again, it creates a face behind a business, and people want to do business with, somebody who's real, and this is, a great way to do it. Another thing that you can do, kind of along the same lines, spotlight your customers and make sure you have their, approval to post, but, give them a call out. And, Facebook's a great platform to talk about yourself, but, talking about your customers, it shows people that they're happy, your customers are happy, and it adds goodwill. Not to mention that if you're allowed to tag, that person most likely will share it with their followers too. And then I always include hashtags and capitalizing on trends when I'm talking about Facebook. It's an easy way to increase your discoverability. And, it's fun, and it adds a little bit of lightheartedness to, sometimes serious Facebook pages. But I ask everyone to always do their research first. You do not want to just jump on a hashtag trend that isn't really appropriate for your business, or maybe you don't know the history behind. So always research it first, and when in doubt, do not use it. I will say, look up the DiGiorno hashtag fiasco, and that will tell you why, when in doubt, do not use it. And then one of the last things, people like to feel exclusive, and people on Facebook are no different to that. So if you can give them any sort of special offer, give them that, whether it's a coupon code or, a free coffee if you like your Facebook page. Just give them something a little extra, and people really respond to that. And then, as I had mentioned before about how important it is to use visual elements, photos, and links, it will help increase the likelihood that your post shows up in the news feed. But you can also do things like encourage customers to post their own photos. If you go on the Vivial Facebook page, we have our employees are always posting photos, whether it's, the Dayton account coordinators have a softball league that they participate in, and, the Wisconsin team apparently loves to go to happy hours. So, they're always posting photos on there. And no, it's not, it's not small business marketing at the end of the day, but it shows that, we're a happy bunch, and, it gets people to interact with the page, even if it is our employees. So, Any sort of user-generated content, whether it's a happy customer or a happy employee, is always a good Facebook post. And then the last tip that I will leave you with is using video on Facebook. Whether they don't have to be long and they don't have to be professionally made by any stretch of the imagination. You can use a smartphone to do these things. Whether you want to do a quick testimonial or maybe you want to do a product demo, there's no shortage of different types of videos that you can post on Facebook. The screenshot that I included on the slide is Magnolia Bakery, which if anyone, I'm sure people that live in like the New York area are familiar with, but if you watch Sex and the City, it's a very popular bakery here in New York, and they're known for their intricate designs on the cupcakes. So here we have a cupcake designer, someone's filming her decorating a cupcake, which seems like it might be boring to you, but I thought it was very cool, and I shared it. So, just think about, or maybe, ask friends and family, what is something that you do that would be a good video? So, the next section is advertising, and, this is always something that I approach with a local business in mind, because there's no shortage of things that you can do on Facebook for advertising. However, since we primarily work with local businesses and service providers, I'm going to focus on the different types of ways that you can use advertising on Facebook to reach your audience. And, a while back, Facebook told us / kind of admitted to us that the content of branded pages are actually only seen by about 16% of subscribers to that page, And what that means is that a lot of businesses spend a lot of time getting all these Facebook followers and getting people to like their page, and then when they post, only 16% of people see that, that was me working on the Vivial page, and I was like, what the heck? Come on, Facebook. That's not cool. I want everyone to see this. But there's a lot of competition for the newsfeed. I'm not the only business that our Facebook page people like. So advertising is a great way if you want to get something out there fast to a large audience. That's the way to go. And if you want to, slowly build over time, just like on the web, making sure that your things are keyword heavy, and, your about page is filled out is, the long-term strategy. So jumping into advertising, you need to start out by identifying your goal. And you want to decide what is your ad intended to do. For example, do you want to promote a certain product that you just got in, or do you want to have people call you? Maybe you want to drive foot traffic to a particular location. You need to identify that up front, and then writing the ad will just come naturally, I promise. You can do other things. As I mentioned, I'm going to focus primarily on local businesses, but you can also do things like just drive traffic to a website. You can do app installs or engagement, video views. There's no shortage. But, for local businesses, you don't need to get fancy with, the different ad types. Just make sure that your message is clear, and the rest will come naturally. So after you've identified your goal, the next thing you want to do is decide who your target audience is. And for local businesses, you know where your audience is. It's right around your business, and you can set a radius. Or if you want to reach, people in the next town over, you can do that as well. But Facebook is famous for their targeting. And before you go and design your ad, you want to really define that audience, and it's actually it's the second step in Facebook's advertising. They want to know, how old is your target audience? Are they 18 to 25? Are they 25 to 54? You know where they live, but what types of things are they interested in? Are they young and interested in, family activities? Do they have 2 kids? Or maybe are they interested in college sports? They just went off to university. So you need to decide this and define it in Facebook, and they will show your ads only to those people. And it's essential that you do that, because if you don't, there's 1.4 billion Facebook users across the world. So I'm sure that, a business in New York really has no interest in talking to someone in China. So when you're creating your ad and creating, deciding on your audience, you want to think about the topic of your ad and think about what your audience finds interesting, and then give them some valuable information. Whether you want to feature employees to build, morale and, show that you're involved in the community, or maybe you want to show customers that you brought back an old item that was popular. Knowing the subject and the theme of your ad, and it should fit into a holistic marketing campaign that you have running, will really help determine the success of your ad. And then one of everyone's favorite topics is, how do I write great ad copy? And you do not have to be a novelist to do this. You can follow a few simple tips, and your ad will be, it'll be effective and it'll be consistent. So if I can tell you one thing to take away, is always spell check it. You'll be surprised how many people don't, and it just doesn't look good. So, first off, make sure that the tone is consistent with your business's personality. When in doubt, keep it short and to the point. I've been working in marketing for 10 years now, and my takeaway is people don't read. They certainly don't read very, very copy-heavy ads. You might have them at the headline, but they drop off after that. So keep it, front load all of your, your asks and, any sort of important stuff in the front, and keep it short and sweet, and write it always with the customer in mind. And then, just like we mentioned before, you want to include a photo. Make sure that it's sized properly, and that it's high res. If you're using a smartphone, it automatically will be. Make sure that text is max 20% of the image, because Facebook will not allow you to run anything that's more than that, and that does include usually logos. So, you don't need to include a logo because if it's in the profile picture, but if not, you might want to include a logo. But be very mindful of that, because it's frustrating to have Facebook reject your image only because it has 20% more text. So one of Facebook's new advertising options are our local awareness ads, and these are designed for businesses that want to quickly and efficiently reach people that are right around their business. And you'll be able to include a call to action, such as get directions or call now or learn more. You need to decide what works best for your ad and your message. But these are a great way to reach people that are nearby and looking for, in this case, a shoe craftsman or a cobbler. So this works very well if you have a physical location. And Facebook also has store locator ads, and these are simply, they show a map of locations with businesses that are nearby, and then people can click on the ad to see more information about locations. And the great thing about this is that people who are clicking, they never have to leave the ad or the Facebook app. So they can view your address, they can view your phone number, they can view how long it takes to get to your business, all in Facebook and all within that ad. So it's a very clean user experience. And then, once you've run an advertising campaign, if you're anything like me, and I'm sure you are, you want to know the results. You want to know, was your money well spent? Because if it wasn't, then you're going to do something else. So historically, it's been kind of difficult to measure the impact of advertising on in-store visits and sales, moreover. So Facebook took that into consideration, like any good technology company does, and they launched a new metric in ads reporting called store visits. And advertisers can now see how many people came to your store after seeing a Facebook campaign. How you can optimize and change up the creative to maybe create a more effective ad based on store visits. And if you have more than one location, you can analyze stores in the region, and that will help you plan for any future campaigns. So Facebook recently, well, not recently, but they do have a few new recent features, but some that are older and still do the trick. Once you have your page set up, you have posting going out, you're using advertising, what if you want to go the absolute extra mile and really kind of use Facebook to its full capacity? The first thing that I would recommend is using the call to action buttons that you can put right in your business page. And this will give you the ability to track it's another trackable ROI that's associated with your page. So if you're maybe you're a retailer and you have a e-commerce site, encouraging people to go and shop now, or if you want to drive people to a map from there, you can do that as well if you have a physical location but no e-commerce site. Maybe you just want people to pick up the phone and call you. You can do contact us. There's no short, I encourage everyone to have this because people are trained to automatically go there and that's how they contact you on Facebook. So that's an easy way to, reach that audience, and it's a kind of a no-brainer. Another thing that works well for local businesses is using check-ins. And with Facebook becoming more and more like a search engine, this is a great way to show other, kind of the popularity of your business. You might want to do something like offer a deal or an incentive for those that check in, wipe off your Foursquare marketing and, kind of get creative. And Facebook automatically promotes these check-ins to mobile users when they log in and when they're nearby your business. So it's a great way to increase awareness and give people a little nudge to check in and engage with your page. And then I've mentioned a few times about local search on Facebook and how Facebook is turning more and more into a search engine by the day. They recognize the opportunity, and they silently rolled out a local search functionality in December 2015. And everything they've done, all the developments that they've added, post December 2015 have been to support this local search engine. And, at the end of the day, it gives users the ability to search for businesses that have the best Facebook ratings and reviews. Google is doing the exact same thing with Google ratings. And this is just another way that you can be discovered. So, if you are focusing on Yelp, I encourage you to start focusing on Facebook and Google as well, because Facebook has more reviews than Yelp. And, Facebook, everyone's on Facebook. With Yelp, you have to create an account. It's kind of a pain in the butt. But you should definitely be focusing on Facebook and Google and incorporating it into your review strategy to kind of capitalize on this local search functionality. And as I mentioned, local search, that goes right into business reviews. And they're important. Any small business owner, they're a hot topic, and it's a great way to start a conversation in a room with small business owners. But 88% of people trust them as much as online reviews, and as much as trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. That's pretty strong, seeing as if Joe down the street recommends a restaurant, I trust that as much as my sister recommending the restaurant. So they're very powerful. And these reviews, as I mentioned before, are factored into Facebook's local search algorithm. So, incorporating that into your review strategy will definitely help at the end of the day. And then to close, a little bit about Vivial. We offer social media marketing. We have many different types of, management. If you want to manage it yourself and you want to be more hands-on, you can use the Vivial marketing platform to, manage all of your profiles, Facebook included, Yelp, Google My Business, LinkedIn, Twitter. You can manage all that from one dashboard in addition to, keywords and SEO. And then we also have a team of social media managers. If you don't want to be hands-on at all, you want to say, here's my accounts, you go build them and, tell me what, you come away with. We do that too. So if you want to get a demo, just, follow the bit.ly link and somebody will be happy to do that. Or you can email me at gethelp@vivial.net. Here's some additional resources, which are also in the attachment in BrightTalk. Everything is free, and I encourage you to take advantage of it. And unfortunately, we've run out of time for the Q&A session. I apologize about being on mute for about 5 minutes. If you do have questions, email them to me at gethelp@vivial.net. It comes right to my inbox, and I do actually respond to the questions. So thank you so much, everyone, for today, and I look forward to talking with you on a future webinar. Thanks so much. Bye.